Hi guys, it's me Annie and I'm back with another video. We are very excited here in our household because my son, who is 6, has started getting his first loose tooth. So he is quite excited to meet the tooth fairy so that she can bring him some money for his tooth that's coming out. It will be falling out probably today or maybe tomorrow because it's quite loose. He doesn't want me to touch it, so I'll just leave it. I made him a little jar for his tooth to put his tooth in for the tooth fairy to come and collect as soon as that tooth comes out. So I will show you how I made this label by using normal packing tape and just a printed picture that I found on the internet. Please craft with me as I make this cute little tooth jar for Xavier. So my son is about to lose his first tooth, and I thought it would be a good opportunity to make him a little tooth jar that he can put his tooth in as soon as it falls out, so that the tooth fairy can collect his tooth and then replace it with a coin. So for this project I have printed out an image that I found on Google Images. It's a little superhero tooth because my son is obsessed with superheroes at the moment. I thought it would be a good idea to print out a superhero tooth for him for his little jar, and then he can place his little tooth in there for the tooth fairy to find. This is just a old mason jar that I had. I think there was mustard in there or something. Took the labels off, cleaned it up very nicely, and now it's going to be a tooth jar. So to make a label out of this printout, I'm going to use clear packing tape, and then I will stick the clear packing tape on top of this image, and I will place it in a bowl of water for 20 minutes, and then I will remove the paper and only the image will remain on the packing tape. The stickiness will return as soon as it dries, and then I can place it on the jar where I want it as a label. So firstly I need to place the packing tape, stick it over the image, and make sure that there's no bubbles, because if there are bubbles the image won't come out very nicely. So now I've covered this image in packing tape. You can see it's shiny. I'm just going to cut out around this image. And now my label is ready to go in the water. I made sure there's no bubbles. So the ink will go onto the adhesive side of the packing tape, and the water will make the paper dissolve. So we'll just place it in the water and submerge it in the water, and there it will stay for about 10 to 20 minutes until the paper is nice and saturated, and it can be removed from the adhesive. It's been about 15 minutes and the paper is nicely saturated, so I'm just gently rubbing it off the packing paper, the packing tape. So the paper is coming off. You can see, just rubbing it lightly, and it's coming off in little bits and pieces. And I'm just going to continue doing this until all the white is gone and only the ink remains. Then I will place it down to dry and it will return to its original stickiness. So this takes a little bit of patience. Just rubbing very gently so as not to remove the ink, but only the paper. If you do remove some of the ink, you can always go back with a Sharpie and just draw it in again if you need to. So if you don't have a Cricut or anything fancy like this, this is a good alternative to make labels for any kind of jars or any kind of storage container if you'd like. It's great to use this technique in a pantry where you like to label your container with your sugar and flour and things like that. My image to dry, and it's completely dried. I will go on with my Sharpie and just touch up the black where it's been removed, and then it should be sticky again so that I can place it onto the jar. So we'll wait for it to dry completely. Okay, so now I removed the paper while it was wet, and now it's dried, so it's kind of tacky again, and some of the ink has come off with the paper. So I'm going over with my Sharpie and I'm just going to make the black lines more clear. It's nice and clear, and it's all tacky again. So now I'm going to take my jar and place this label onto my jar. Tacky side down onto the glass. Just make sure you place it nicely so it doesn't make any bubbles. If you need to, you can always cut it smaller because I see it's a bit wide. just make sure that there's no bubbles and the label will be on the jar. And that is a little tooth jar for Xavier. Now, as you can see, there is a little bit of white still left over from the paper that I didn't remove completely. So you can always rub the paper off a bit more and do a better job. But the ink was coming off so badly, I just decided to stop. And I also needed to do the ink over with the Sharpie to make sure that the image will be clear. So now Xavier's got a little tooth jar, and to decorate this little tooth jar, I'm just going to add some jute twine to the top and make a little ribbon. To just secure this so it doesn't come loose, you can just maybe add a little dab of hot glue at the back. And that will keep everything nicely in place. So there you are, a cute little jar for Xavier's tooth that's about to come out, and then the tooth fairy can bring him a little coin to replace the tooth in the jar. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial on how to make these labels out of packing tape, and please try it for yourself. It's quite fun to do, and you can get creative, print different images, use it in your pantry, use it on jars. The options are endless, and enjoy crafting. Thank you for watching. Till next time.